Good morning, campers. So, yeah, it's all kicking off again, isn't it? Not surprising, really. Anyway, enough of that. Um, I was thinking last night about this situation with Jack the Balding Reefer and his fire, and how Jack felt the need to explain himself, and how he was going to account for every penny, and then whatever wasn't used to replace basically the kids' stuff, he was going to donate to charity. Very noble, um, very noble gesture. Um, Personally, I think that anything that's donated, he should use to rebuild his life to where it was before the fire. That includes his summer house, his fish pond, everything. And then if there's anything left over, he should take the missus and the kids on a little holiday because they've been through a traumatic event. And I think a little holiday would be nice. And I honestly don't think that anybody that donated to the GoFundMe page or has donated in any way would object to that at all. So I was thinking how I could donate a bit more than I have out of my own pocket, and I've come up with an idea. At the minute, on skegnesspondsupplies.com, there's a discount code Skeggy10, which will give you 10% off. So up until midnight on Sunday, over the bank holiday, anyone who goes and purchases stuff off the website and doesn't use the discount code, I will donate that 10% to Jack and his family, and that will be donated to Jack and his family on the basis that once they've sorted out the kids' stuff and done their donation, that if there's anything left over and it comes out of that 10%, I want him to use that to treat the missus and the kids to something for himself, not to replace stuff, not to build stuff, for him, his missus and his kids. Excuse the missus taking the rubbish out in the background. So yeah, I think that would be a nice gesture. So it's basically going to be a donation. It'll go through the GoFundMe page, obviously. It'll go in the name of Skegness Pond Supplies. But I want that to be for whatever he wants to use it for. Whether that be taking the kids away for the weekend, going for a nice meal, going to the cinema, just basically getting away from it all for a day or a couple of days or a few hours or whatever. So that's my little thought. That aside from all the stuff that needs replacing, that we kind of agree that that is to be used as a bit of R&R. And then there's no discrepancy as to what that money can be used for. So whether it's 50 quid or 100 quid or 1,000 quid or 10,000 quid, I'm not going to put a limit on it. I'm not going to put anything on it. And if it's nothing, if nobody goes and goes, right, okay, I'll put 50 quid in myself so you can take the kids to the cinema. And I'll do that away from all the GoFundMe and everything. I will literally just go, here's 50 quid, take the kids out for the afternoon. You know, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. But it's a gesture. I don't think the guy should be explaining himself, keeping all the receipts and basically doing double entry bookkeeping accounts in case anyone questions what he's used the money for. My thought is, if he uses the money and puts it into his business, and that's how he's going to replace all his stuff that isn't covered by the insurance, so be it. If that gives him, his missus and his kids some financial security, so be it. You know, it's not about what is physically bought. It's about supporting the guy and giving him a bit of a shoulder to lean on, and just being decent human beings, and not using it as some sort of agenda to try and point fingers and asking stupid questions like, oh well, the goal was 2,000, that's been hit, why is it now 4,000? It's quite simple really. Yeah, if you set a goal on something like GoFundMe and you hit that goal, yeah, the fundraiser stops. Yeah, and you can go, right, when you're in the middle of a fire, and trust me, I've been there. In my last video I explained it, and I said, 10 years on I'm still finding stuff that I know I have had, and then it dawns on you it went up in the fire. He has no clue at all. I guarantee you now, he has no clue at all what is missing in that fire, what's been damaged. Yeah, and he won't have for 6 months. So you can initially look round and survey the damage and go, yeah, it's a couple of grand's worth of toys. And then you start to tot it up over the days and you find it's 4 grand's worth, 5 grand's worth, 10 grand's worth. Yeah. As I said, I don't care what my donation gets used towards. I donated that money to Jack and his family to try and help them get out of this nightmare situation. I didn't donate it on the grounds of, well, you have to prove to me what you've spent it on. If you take the kids to McDonald's, that's not on. Yeah, no, it's absolutely on, because if it makes those kids smile for 5 minutes, then so be it. So, Jack, message from me. My donation is to you and your family. You use it for whatever gives your family some peace and a little bit of happiness at this horrific time. I don't want to see a receipt. I don't even want to know what it goes on. Yeah? Just look after you, April, and the kids. Get yourself back on your feet. And let's have the old reefer back. Let's try and take some of this off your shoulders and try and get you back where you are. And anyone who basically wants to see accounting, well, for me that's a bit of an Indian giver. So anyway, back to the original plan. SkegnessPondSupplies.com. As I said, there's a discount code that will give you 10% off. Anyone who doesn't use that code, I will take that 10% and I will give it to Jack and his family. And that will be a no condition donation. No conditions, no. And I'm sure 99.9% of donations that have been made to everything is no condition. But I want to make it perfectly clear. It is a no condition donation. Yeah. It's for you, your missus, your kids, and whatever will stick a smile on your face for 5 minutes. And for everyone else who's poking and digging and jibing, I did say I wasn't going to cover this. I'm just going to say this: wind your necks in, have a bit of compassion, have a bit of humility, yeah, and get off people's backs when they're trying to do something to help out somebody in need. And you're just showing yourselves up with your true colours. And I really do hope that people are seeing that. That's all I've got to say. Ciao, people.